Well, folks, so today we are going to learn how to drive kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion. Before this, let us revise what we have studied till now. The main thing is average velocity, that is v dash is equal to x2 minus x1 upon t2 minus t1. And of course, we have seen instantaneous velocity also. And what is this? Basically, it is dx upon dt. We are going to use these things in our derivations. Another important thing, suppose your body is moving with constant velocity. Suppose your body is moving with constant velocity u with respect to time, then what will be its graph? Vt graph will be, it is v, it is t, and here u, and now it is, since it is constant with respect to time, so it will be parallel to the this axis, t axis. Now suppose if I ask you what will be the distance covered in t1 time, then of course suppose this is t1, distance covered in t1 times by normal formula will be nothing but u into t1, because it is constant, so just multiply it by time will give you the distance. And here the same thing you can obtain by finding out the area of this graph. This area is nothing but u into t1. That means in Vt graph, the area gives the distance covered. Means in Vt graph, area gives the distance traveled in time t. Please remember this thing, because sometimes it will be easy for you to find out the area and you can find the answer instead of applying the equations. Now with this knowledge, we will move further and let us see how we can drive the equations for uniformly accelerated motion. Suppose a body is there with whose initial velocity is v0, and this is basically at time t is equal to 0, and v is the velocity at time t. Then let us draw the vt graph. This is your v axis, this is your t axis, this is your initial velocity, and now we are considering uniformly accelerated motion. Uniformly accelerated motion. That means your velocity is increasing uniformly like this. Correct? And this is the time t. This is here, the velocity is v, means it is 0 or it is origin. At t is equal to 0, the body is having an initial velocity of v0, and after time t, the velocity is v, means the velocity has increased from v0 to v. So what is basically acceleration here? Acceleration will be nothing but the slope of this line. Slope will give you acceleration. And acceleration, we know that is v2 minus v1 upon t2 minus t1. This we have studied in our previous lecture. So here v1 is basically initial velocity, that is v0. v2 is final velocity, that is v. What about t2? Sorry, t1. t1 is 0 because at t is equal to 0, initial velocity is v0, and t2 is basically your t. Now you can put these values here. v minus v0 upon t minus t0 equal to a, or this will give you v minus v0 is equal to at, or v is equal to v0 plus at. So this is the first equation of motion of a uniformly accelerated motion. Now let us drive the second equation. We can draw this figure once more. Now we will find the second equation, and second equation basically it is the distance. Suppose distance we denote by s. So what is the distance it will cover? S is basically distance covered in 0 to t second, t time you can say. So as in our previous this thing, the area should give, area of this graph should give the distance. So what is this? This is nothing but v minus v0 . So what is the area of this triangle? That is v minus v0 into t plus what is the area of this v0 into t. This is basically v0, correct? Now our first equation was we derived as, correct? From this first equation, v minus v0 is nothing but it is at. Then it will become at square plus v0. So this is our second equation. S is equal to vt v0t plus half at square. Correct? Now let us see what is the third equation. Here, what will be this ordinate, the middle ordinate? It is v0 and this is v. So this will be nothing but v plus v0 upon 2. This is v plus v0. This is also called average velocity. This is valid in case of constant acceleration only. Now let us find out what is the area. It will be nothing but, suppose middle ordinate is v plus v0 into by 2 into t. This will give you the area of this trapezium. Here what we can do is v plus v0 upon 2, and t from this equation, t we can put as v minus v0 upon a. correct? That means S is equal to V square minus V0 square upon 2AS. Sorry, 2A. That means V square is equal to square plus 2AS. This is your third equation of motion, that is kinematic equation of motion. So these are three equations. One is V is equal to V0 plus AT. Another is S is equal to V0T plus half AT square. And third one is V square is equal to V0 square plus 2AS. In all these three equations, we have assumed that at t is equal to 0, x distance is also 0. And suppose at t is equal to 0, x is having it is having some distance, means x is x0, then these equations will modify. This will remain same, there is no problem. This will be nothing but it will be s minus x0 plus, sorry, equal to v0 t plus half a t square. Sometimes if t is equal to t, if you take x is equal to x, then of course this will become x minus x0, and this is what actually in the books these notations are given. So you don't confuse yourself what is s or x, it is all distance. You have to just see what is at t is equal to 0 and what is at t is equal to t. So these are the kinematic equations. So you don't have to confuse yourself. You just have to see what is t is equal to 0 and what is at t is equal to t. So these are the kinematic equations. Now we will try to drive these equations by calculus also. In this last part, here we have assumed it is a constant acceleration. But suppose acceleration is not constant, then let us drive the equations by calculations. You will get the same results, but that will take into account the if the acceleration is not constant. We know that v is equal to dx upon dt, and A is equal to dv upon dt. So here, let us see A is equal to dv upon dt, or we can write it as dv is equal to A dt. And if we integrate it from v0 to v, dv is equal to from 0 to t. Means at t is equal to 0, the initial velocity is v0. At t is equal to t, the velocity is v. So what will be this? This will be nothing but v minus v0 will be equal to a, or we can take so here what will be the integration? This v0 v is equal to here, of course, because a is constant. This is how we integrate these things. You will learn in your calculus. Or this is the same equation, first equation we have derived. One. Now let us take this here. This will be nothing but dx will be equal to v dt, and if we integrate this x0 to x dx, v is nothing but v0 plus at 0 to t, here it will be det. So here what will be there? By integrating, so this will give you x minus x0 so this is the second equation by calculus. It is the same thing. Now for third equation, we know that a is equal to dv upon dt, and this can be written as dv upon dx and dx upon dt, or this can be written as v dv upon dx. Correct? So here a will be equal to v dv upon dx. So That means V dV is equal to A dx. Correct? This you can integrate from V0 to V, and this is x0 to x. This will be nothing but V square upon 2 V0 upon V. Sorry, and this is A. A is constant. A is constant with respect to time. So here, what will give? V0 V V square 2 minus V0 square 2 is equal to A x will minus x0. This is correct. So this will give you V square is equal to V0 square plus 2A x minus x. This is your third. So folks, I hope you have followed the derivations very closely because it is very important and it is fundamental also. These equations you are going to use in almost entire physics. So these derivations should be very clear, and of course you memorize these three equations because all the next chapters, wherever this motion will be there, these equations will come. So I hope you must have followed how I have derived. I have derived by two methods very clearly. Please do follow this and do it once more by your own self. And today, this is for all. In the next video, I am going to explain what is relative motion. That is also very important, and that will end the chapter, motion in a straight line. Thank you very much.